My name's Shane. My blog is BeatingBroke.com.
Why did you start a financial blog?
I started a financial blog because, I was a blogger first, so it was something that I had kind of caught the passion for, the bug or whatever you want to call it, and my family, we were broke, and I started learning more about like how to handle your finances, and it was just a natural evolution for me to take that what I was learning and share it and pontificate on it or to make a discussion about it, because it really is something that there isn't a lot of information about, and so it was all about being able to share the information that I was learning and share these different thoughts that I had on the process.
Why did you decide to come to FinCon this year?
I went last year, and so literally if you've had the experience of being in a place where there are several hundred people who have the same thoughts about a lot of the same things that you do and have so much in common, that if you, for me anyways, if I talk about finances and blogging and whatever to most of my friends or my wife or anybody, they all kind of get that big doe-eyed look and like, yeah, let's go do something else, and so it's really cool to have a couple hundred people in the same location that have those same things, and you can sit down and talk about, what are you doing with IRAs, and what are you doing with this, or what are you doing with that, or how are you covering this subject, and be able to not get that look and actually have the person on the other side be like, yeah, and I'm doing this, and that's the really cool thing about it, and so I had that first experience last year, and so literally the day the tickets went on sale this year, I bought one, and it wasn't really a matter of when or if I was going. It was, okay, I'm going. How am I going to pay for it? And who am I going to get to talk to this year? And who new is going to be here? And who are the speakers going to be? And it's such an amazing experience when you don't have that at home.
Who are you most excited to meet?
I don't know. Like last year, I literally last year when I was coming to the first one, I had a very defined list of certain people that I wanted to meet in person. JD Roth was one of them. Flexo's another. Ninja from Punch That in the Face. Adam Baker is another. This year I crossed them all off my list last year. So this year it was a lot more about not necessarily meeting any one person in particular, but meeting a few new ones, reconnecting with the ones that I had met last year that we all have kind of become friends over the year, and be able to really grow those relationships with our fellow bloggers.
Other than your blog, what is your favorite blog?
I have to pick one. It depends on the subject, I think. There are certain subjects that there are niche blogs that are very good about what they do. If it's an overall blog, I really like Punch That in the Face. He takes a real nice, humorous look at things, and he doesn't take stuff too seriously. There's people who take it more seriously. Narrowbridge.net is one that I really like, that has a much more serious look at things, and when you really want the information and you want to look at like the analysis behind it, he seems to always have the information you need, But other than that, I like to read as many as I can, which is not as many as it used to be now that I'm busier, but the standards, Get Rich Slowly, Consumerism Commentary, the big ones that everybody reads, I think. Good Financial Sense by Jeff Rose is another one that I think is really good. And I've actually had some interest in doing some video and some audio. So a lot of the blogs that are doing really well in those areas, I've found that I am reading them a lot more, watching them, listening to them, however you want to say that. Just kind of one of those things you learn by example, and so seeing these people and how they're doing these things and being able to ping off of them and find out how these things should be done is an interest. So I've been reading more of them.
What is the why of your blog?
The why of my blog. The name of the blog is Beating Broke, so obviously I'm a debt blogger. I do blog a lot about, you know, becoming debt free, becoming more responsible with how we buy, spend, save even, and and it's kind of developed too into a way of looking at things that we can do to increase our income, to break free of being constantly under the pressure of I have to make more money and I have to advance myself at work and I have to do this and I have to do that, and being able to get yourself into a position financially where you have the freedom to make some choices that a lot of people don't have the freedom to do. If you want to take a vacation, if you want to take, say, 3 days off of work and fly to Denver and visit a whole bunch of people that like to talk about finances, I can do that. And so it's all about why and how you can accomplish those things and still live a life that gives you some reward without having to constantly be worried about where the next paycheck's coming from or how you're paying for a meal or it to some degree is about sharing too, and being able to open that conversation and hopefully help some people learn more about their finances too.